Africa, mass protests. So this is the first thing in Africa. Mass protests against police brutality and corruption is going on in Nigeria following the quote unquote hashtag #EndSARS movement. The next item in the continent of Africa is Ethiopia's Tigray and Amhara conflict, which has caused thousands of people to flee and led to concerns about ethnic tensions going on in that region. So for those that are not familiar with Ethiopia, there's a large group of Black Shemites there known as the Amhara. Also, there are Black Israelites groups such as the Beta Israel that live in that region. So please send up your prayers for those that are in that region that are going through that conflict. In the region known as South Africa, there is ongoing struggle against gender-based violence, particularly impacting and affecting Black women. Number 2, in the Caribbean islands, devastating situations have been happening due to hurricanes such as Hurricane Dorian in the Bahamas and Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. The next item, ongoing efforts for reparations from former colonizers for the impact of slavery and colonialism is going on in the Caribbean islands. Item number 3, in South America. Protests against systemic racism and inequality in Brazil following the unalive or deletion of João Alberto Silveira Freitas, a Black man brutally deleted by security guards at a supermarket. The next item is Afro-Colombian communities are fighting hard for land rights and facing extreme violence from armed groups. Item number 4, in India, the discrimination and violence faced by the Dalit and Sidi community, which includes Black communities in the country known as India. Also, the impact of colorism and the caste-based discrimination on the lives of Black indigenous peoples. For those that are familiar with the history going on, someone just put in a comment about melanated Indians in California. So that's current events that's going on as well. In Mexico, number 6, in Mexico, issues of systemic racism faced by Afro-Mexican communities, including marginalized and limited access to resources. The next item is movements for justice and accountability following cases of police violence against Black and indigenous communities. If you've ever read Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33, Isaiah and the prophet Jeremiah says that the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah are oppressed together. If you don't know that history, familiarize yourself with the Black Diaspora as well as the Israelites. In Canada, ongoing efforts to address systemic racism against Canadians that are Black, including calls for police reform and greater representation in positions of power. Land acknowledgement, also highlighting the displacement and marginalization of indigenous and Black communities. For those that are not familiar, if you go back and look up the Indian boarding schools that happen all throughout Canada and the United States, that would be a good thing to do a Google search on. Okay. In Hawaii, the impact of tourism and Native Hawaiian communities leading to the discussions of cultural appropriation and environmental concerns. This is especially true due to the recent impact of the fires that occurred in Maui and how many people in Maui are impacted by this in the islands of the Hawaiis. Efforts to preserve and revitalize the Hawaiian language and culture are also made. Number 9, in the United States of America, there was a Black Lives Matter movement and ongoing protests against racial and injustice and police violence, and also the equity involving the recent push for new C-19 mandates are very concerning for people in the diaspora that have no concerns nor desire to be administered with the snake venom bite. So this list covers a wide range of events that have impacted Black people and the Black diaspora and may vary in each situation. Please stay tuned for updates on the Forefront Radio. If you're not familiar with the Forefront Radio, it started in 2020. It's a Black diaspora news channel dedicated to news and information for all the people that are concerned with such matters. So now we're going to get into the main story of today. The main story of today is the silent victims, the stolen children of Haiti's orphan crisis back in 2010. So we're going to do an update discussion on the crisis that happened in 2010. Share the room with at least 10 people if you like the information and contact we're going over. Share the room with at least 10 people if you like the information that we're going over. So, silent victims, the stolen children of Haiti's orphan crisis in 2010. In 2010, Haiti was hit by a devastating earthquake, leaving the nation in ruins. Amidst the chaos and desperation, an even darker story unfolded involving the illegal childnapping and trafficking of Haitian children by some individuals affiliated with the United States, the United Nations, and charitable organizations. This shocking reality, verified by online sources and accounts in books, shed light on the atrocities committed against the vulnerable children of Haiti. Very important information. The earthquake's aftermath drew international attention as images of displaced orphans and children flooded the media. Organizations desperate to help and families longing to provide these children with a benefit or better life became prime targets for those seeking to exploit the situation. Some unscrupulous and bad individuals within the United States, the United Nations, and charities looked and took advantage of the chaos in engaging in illegal activities such as childnapping and trafficking Haitian children under the guise of adoption. Online sources and publications reported instances where children were forcibly taken from their homes and families, often without proper consent or documentation. The exploitative acts were committed under the pretense of providing a brighter future for the children, but instead they subjected them to unimaginable suffering and unspeakable horrors. The rampant lack of regulation and oversight enabled many criminal activities to flourish, with these criminals capitalizing on desperation of the vulnerable community of the Haitian population. Now, the very institutions that were intended to help ended up becoming accomplices in the tragic ordeal faced by these innocent children. As reports of these atrocities surfaced, the international community was appalled and demanded accountability. Investigations were launched to uncover the extent of the illegal adoption network, bringing the individuals involved to justice and shedding light on the harrowing experiences endured by the stolen children. Haiti. Already grappling with the aftermath of a natural disaster, found itself facing a new crisis. The government, rightfully determined to protect its children and prevent further exploitation, implementing stricter adoption regulations. The focus shifted to safeguarding the rights and well-being of Haitian children, ensuring that every adoption was conducted through legal, transparent channels with the utmost sensitivity to the children's background and their needs. The revelations come of these atrocities committed against the stolen children of Haiti expose a dark underbelly of child illegal adoption under the banner of humanitarian aid. The United States, the United Nations, and charitable organizations involved have to be forced to confront and address these betrayal of their alleged missions, pledging to implement stringent safeguards to protect and prevent incidents from this happening again. So these stories and more are shared on the Forefront Radio. We appreciate all you viewers that tuned into the material, and we hope that you will follow us again on the Forefront Radio for more information. With that, we say shalom.